Hi, I'm Eric.
No, I'm Jason.
And I'm a bear.
And I beat it first.
Yay!
I'm a bear.
You can find Chris's bear account on Grindr.
Oh, Chris the bear. Sorry, I
Eric
was
the
not
kitty
going to
cat.
say the kitty cat. So.
I totally forgot. I forgot they were going to do like a animal thing for funsies.
Oh, no, we weren't. We were humoring you when we said that we were. Chris forgot that we were humoring you, though.
Thank God.
That was not humoring. I was all about the animal. Animal intros for everyone.
No. Only the bear. The bear is the only one that gets them.
The
So again,
biggest
that's
man bear.
That's grinder.com/Chris the Bear.
Ladies, I'm single.
That's not what Grinder's for, Chris.
Is it not for construction services?
Angle grinders, right?
Yeah.
I'm really good with an angle grinder. I can do this. Don't worry about it.
Today on I Beat It First, Chris finds out what Grindr really is for.
Were you wondering why you're getting all those weird messages, Chris?
I don't know, they all seem like nice people.
Phenomenal.
Wait, are you saying that you would think that gay people weren't nice? Tisk, tisk, Chris. Come on.
I just didn't think they had ulterior motives.
They'll want to get all up in that bear.
Oh my gosh.
All right.
Worst intro ever.
Yeah, greatest intro ever. Welcome to I Beat It First, everybody, where we talk about Chris. No,
Chris
where
the
we talk
Bear,
about
get it
video
right.
games and alcohol.
Yes.
All right, so I guess we'll start with Jason. What are you drinking?
I'm having a good old staple, Lost Highway from Mother Road.
Yum. Chris, what are you drinking?
Whole lot of nothing.
Whole lot of nothing.
I
Oh yeah,
know.
because you just had work done.
Yeah.
Oh, that's right. That's right. Sick
Yeah,
Chris is allowed to not drink Chris.
Well, and he just had the work done on his chest.
Yeah, some tattoo
Oh,
work
that's
done.
You're
right.
not supposed to. You're not supposed to drink like right after because it thins out your blood and it can cause bad scabbing.
I had no idea about this.
You don't have any tattoos.
I don't have any tattoos, but I had no idea that you couldn't drink right after. Like, is it
have-
only because it's so big or because, like, in general?
In
general.
general, you're not really supposed to.
Really?
Yeah, it's.
I know a lot of people that fucked up their lives then.
Some people be like, "Oh, well, I never had a problem with it." We're like, yeah, well, it's better to be safe than sorry on something that's permanently on your body. Everybody.
They're probably the same people that say I can quit anytime I want to.
This is also true.
Yes.
Well, I am drinking a lot. I'm going big or going home. I got some Breckenridge Brewery oatmeal stout.
Nice.
I have a coffee kolsch.
Okay.
And I also have some whiskey.
Jesus.
It's Saturday night, right? Is it Saturday night? No, it's Monday night. But we will say that we have our first quasi-sponsor for the
Wow.
podcast. We are part of the affiliate program for Flavier, which we've talked about Flavier before. And this is actually from my own personal Flavier account of what I have. And I actually have the Taguchi 9-year-old blended Japanese whiskey.
Well, that sounds dope.
It's delicious. It's got like 3.5 stars on a lot of ratings that I saw for it, but I guess since it's 9 years old, people would probably say that they probably don't like it because it's young. It's a little sweet, as most young whiskeys are, but it's sweet and has a little bit of peatiness in it. I like it.
I'm willing
Which
to
if you
bet
don't know
that
what peaty, what?
Yeah, if people probably don't like the peatiness, because if you don't like peaty, if you don't like that real smoky flavor, then it's kind of like an offer on for a lot of people.
But this isn't like super smoky. It's like just a hint of it. So enough to counteract the sweetness, which is
Nice.
one of the reasons why Scotch has a lot of peatiness in it. In general, from what I've been told, is because you want to counteract the sweetness of like young whiskeys. And
you said
then
it-
sometimes they just leave it in there for 18, 21 years, and you get Lafroy and Lagavulin.
Lagavulin, man, that's That is my go-to when I'm just like, you know what? I feel like just drinking some campfire right now.
Good old campfire.
Bust down some of that Lagavulin.
I will tell you the one thing you don't want to do is smoke a cigar and drink Lagavulin.
Fuck yeah, I do.
Oh,
I will
God.
do that all day, every day.
Ugh. Maybe it's because I've only done it with Lafroy, and Lafroy is a bit smokier. Not much, but a bit smokier.
All that smoke.
All that smoke, man. But so we are part of the affiliate program. Basically, what that allows for you guys to do is you can get your own membership to Flavier. You get 10% off if you go to flavier.com/IBIF. That's FLAVIAR.com. And they do tasting boxes, which is what I do. You can also buy large bottles of whatever it is that you get in the tasting boxes, but I really like doing the tasting boxes because like I had the Je ne sais quoi one before. I've had another whiskey one before this, so you get introduced to a lot of stuff that you may not normally pick up because you don't want to spend the money on a full bottle.
And they
So,
do more than just whiskey, right?
yes, they do gin, as I said, vodka, mezcal,
think I've seen rum.
tequila, rum, like basically anything that's alcoholic.
Nice.
I think I've even seen like schnapps on there before too.
I need to try out some schnapps. Well, this one tastes like shit. This one tastes like shit too. I just love schnapps.
This one's got shit with a little bit of peachy flavor.
Yeah, exactly.
But again, that's flavier.com/IBIF. One of the things is it's generally by invite only, but if you use the code, then it automatically gives you access into it.
Ooh, exclusive.
Exclusive.
An IBIF exclusive.
Oh, and we've now been removed from the Flavier partner program. All right.
Surprised we were on there for this long.
We made it for an entire week, everybody.
We did it.
But again, this is actually my own box. Jason's got a box coming soon that he'll be trying out as soon as it gets there.
Excited.
Yeah. This is I think this is my third one, so I'm happy with it. I think it's a great thing. All right, so should we get on to news?
Let's do it.
All right,
Video game podcast.
legitimate
Legitimate
game.
video game Spotify podcast.
Except we get more listens on Spotify on our anime one.
Legitimate video game podcast that also does anime on Spotify for others to listen to while wanting to talk about video games.
Can we talk
Podcast.
about that for a second? I mean, at first is bigger on every other platform, but for some reason, Cutscene is blowing it up on Spotify, and I don't know why.
We've
Is that
just
where all the
loved
weebs are?
We've just loved Spotify apparently.
Yeah.
All the weebs are all over Spotify. That's it. We figured it out now.
Yep.
We love you, weebs. Keep listening to that Spotify.
Plus, I think it's just super rare to find three guys willing to come together and admit that they watch anime like as much as we do. And so it's probably like
Let
kind
alone
of like
some of the
more,
cringy stuff that we
right. I think it's
watch.
more of a rarity that people are just like, oh,
Someone
shit.
else watched this cringy anime?
Yeah, yeah.
Wait, I
No
want to
one
hear
wants
what
to
these
talk
three
about this.
assholes said about Asobi Asabase. Because
No one
I
wants to
watched
talk about
it
this.
too.
Like it's not like you're at work and just like, yo, dudes. How about that principal drinking up that young urine?
But then he found out it wasn't urine and it was,
It was
just
actually water,
pool
so this
water.
is HR appropriate conversation we're having right now.
Which again, how did they get a pool up there?
They have no supervision whatsoever.
For conversations like this, check out our other podcast, Scene, brought to you by IBIF First.
All right, so this news is kind of all over the place because I was just filling out everything that's happened over the last couple of weeks. First and foremost, though, Reggie Fils-Aime is retiring.
Yeah.
If you don't know who that is Nintendo's CEO.
The Goliath man himself.
Yes, he's been 16 years at Nintendo, 13 years as the best CEO. And I think we can say best CEO.
Yeah, he didn't do anything
Yeah.
really to fuck anything up. No scandals. There was nothing. Yeah, you know what?
I did like there was
I was
Sarcasm
wondering if
articles
you were
is
gonna
like-
talk about this.
gaming industry reacted. We can leave this job?
Under our own accord? Without scandal or being fired? What?
Crazy.
Craziness.
What?
But the best news about it all is his replacement.
Oh man, his replacement is the greatest, Doug Bowser. That's right, everybody. Bowser is taking over Nintendo. If you didn't know, Doug Bowser is actually the VP of, VP of marketing or senior VP of marketing for Nintendo right now. So he's
Mario.
gonna take over. And Mario's reign is gone. It's all the Bowser show.
I like that
So-
the rounds of that photo from when Bowser was first hired on by Nintendo. He was like, he had a little photo of him saying like, "Hey, thanks for welcoming me to the company," and behind him was Mario and Luigi tied up by like a controller cable or something like that. And it's making the rounds again for obvious reasons because the pun is just too perfect.
Oh,
like,
it is way too perfect. And
there's
we've
no way
talked
that they
about
didn't
that.
find this guy and just be like, "We're gonna train you for this job just because we like your name," like, or it
were
was part
born
of
for
the deal.
this.
It's just like, you know what, you can either become CEO now, but you have to get a name change, or you're gonna have to just wait until Reggie does this major scandal, which is never gonna happen because he's
It's
a
just
nice guy.
never gonna happen.
Right, exactly. So he's just like, you know what, it's time to make that name change happen, and there we go.
I do
And if-
like the video that Chris sent over though of the real reason that Reggie left.
Wait, didn't you send that?
No, was it Jason?
Nobody knows who sent anything.
Oh my
Stuff
god,
just
it's
appears in our
random.
feed.
Anyways, the video for back when they were re-announcing the Nintendo World Championships, and he's like, now I'm gonna compete, and they're like, you can't, Reggie, you're Reggie, and he's like, not anymore.
That's right.
Exit stage right.
If anything, like they really need to make like a Bowser game now, like where it's just like you play as Bowser, something like flip the sides of it. I think it's the time's right too. It'd be easy to do.
And they
then-
introduced it at the end of Odyssey.
Right.
I mean, that was totally dope just playing it. I mean, you were super OP. You were
Right.
just destroying things left and right. The only problem was that you were slow and you were trying to outrun an explosion. But I think yes.
Yeah, that you could easily do it. I would love to see another actual Super Mario RPG style where you have Bowser. That'd be dope.
That would be cool.
Bowser Ghost Recon breaking into the castle to kidnap the princess.
Oh my gosh.
Is this
I
the
have
game
brought
that
that into
gets
the
chased
world,
by a
everybody.
Switch?
Yeah, I have brought that into the world. That is going to happen now.
Bowser Ghost.
Oh, man. So, yes, goodbye, Reggie. That happens on April 15th. So, we've still got about a month and a half of some more Reggie shenanigans. But he will be missed. He's been an icon. As we talked about it, we saw him at E3 this last year, and we were all just kind of like turning and looking to the left. We're like, oh my God, it's Reggie. He's a big motherfucker.
Towering,
He's huge.
yeah. Huge ass
He's
dude.
huge. Big hands.
Hey, Reggie.
Is he going to stop and say hi? Is he gonna,
Don't
no, he's not
mind
gonna
me
stop and say
playing Mario Tennis.
hi. Really poorly because he came over. I might add.
These guys suck. They're just looking at me. Look at the screen, guys.
Oh, man. All right, I'm going to skip down to the bottom of this list right now because after our... pretty soon after our last podcast, they had a Nintendo Direct come out where we saw lots of stuff get announced.
So much shit.
Super Mario Maker 2. Yes. Fuck you. Super Mario Maker was awesome. And you loved it on the Wii U. Don't even give me that crap.
I liked playing other people's things. This is true.
Exactly. And you get more of that. And then they've also got newer Mario renditions and newer power-ups and everything else, too. It's going to be dope.
It'll be
Link's
interesting to see
Awakening.
how it goes without a stylus, though. Now,
But it's finger.
yeah, I know, but
Go buy a stylus. Get like
No.
one of those pen styluses.
no,
That like, it's like the pen on one side and the stylus on the other.
No.
And use that. But no, the finger will be fine because it does multi-touch.
that's true, and
So-
it'll probably be way
Yeah.
more accurate. Yeah,
Yeah,
all right,
be
fine.
way more accurate. Legend of Zelda: Link's Awakening is being remastered and basically completely redone from the very original OG Game Boy version.
Which looks amazing, and
It-
like that how they kept it like true to form. Oh man, Like I was looking at some side by side screen comparisons of the OG game and the new release, and they're like real close. Just obviously because of resolution that they had to make little changes here and there.
Yeah.
But otherwise, it's like a true to life remake, which is got me a little bit excited.
Did they show any video of Link going to dentist school? If you guys haven't seen,
it was optometry.
I was so glad that I wasn't the only one that noticed this because I didn't see anything. And then finally later on in the day afterwards, I saw some stuff popping up on Twitter. But he legit looks like the elf from Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer that was going to be a dentist.
That's true. It does have that very, not claymation, but the stop motion.
Look and just the feel and like the way that his face moved and everything like that. Like that was pretty much it.
It does look though the art style doesn't have me too much. I mean, I'm excited for the remake of honestly one of the better Zelda games ever made, but that art style, I'm not as excited about it. Obviously, I'll probably feel a bit better as we get more information, but
you weren't super excited about Wind Waker at first.
No, I was. I wanted Wind Waker.
Yeah, you were still like,
No, I'm a cell shaded fan. I'm a cell shaded fan.
Yeah, but there's cell shading, and then there's making Link look like a fucking twink.
So
I don't know.
You're the one that didn't like it.
But it grew on me. So, and this one, this doesn't throw me as far off as with Wind Waker, because it is like the sprites are pretty much similar.
Right.
It's just they just filled in the gaps on the little 8-bit sprites.
Right.
4-bit sprites?
No.
8?
8.
Didn't have that many colors though.
No. We still have 8 bits and no color.
No, yeah, true. Mm-hmm. All right. Fire Emblem 3 Houses is in July. That's finally coming out. So we're going to have a full-on Fire Emblem game on the Nintendo Switch.
Finally.
And we need an anime adaptation of that.
Yep.
Stat.
Yes,
Just
definitely.
watching the trailer, I'm like, this looks like a really good anime.
We
God
always
damn it, am I
say
going to
that,
buy this
though.
game?
Every time that there's a Fire Emblem game, we're like, man, I can't wait for them to do an anime adaptation. Nothing. Crickets.
Nope.
It's another one of those categories, though, that it's like, even though there's games that are really good, usually the anime adaptation, when there is one, isn't great.
It couldn't be any worse than a Gundam. Like they have a pretty rich
Gundam
story.
was first an anime, and then
I know, but I'm just saying like of an anime, like the background and the story. I mean, like they're very story rich. You obviously wouldn't have, like 3 episode long battles, but you would have a lot of battles plus a lot of backstory. I think that they could do it and do it, moderately okay.
I agree that they could do it, and it's something that they should do. But for whatever reasons, the past history of it, they always kind of flop.
Yeah, I could see that.
Yeah.
Tetris 99 came out the day of the Nintendo Direct.
Battle Royale.
Tetris Battle Royale, which was hilarious because they were teasing, there's a Battle Royale coming out for the Nintendo Switch that will appeal to pretty much every gamer. And it was like, well, what's it going to be? What's it going to be? Tetris.
My favorite thing was that I was reading an article about major streamers who are typically big Battle Royale players, like playing Apex Legends or Fortnite and all that stuff like that, getting schooled by like people that have like obnoxiously, like obviously you're an old person usernames, like Eileen77 or something like that, That's just like, yeah, you definitely just got owned by a grandma.
Because she had better spatial recognition?
Yeah, because she's been practicing for 30 years, man.
Oh,
she knows
that's
what's
true.
up.
Yeah. Tetris is her fucking game, man.
Yeah,
Dude,
it's her jam.
Tetris is awesome, man. Come
Tetris
on.
and crosswords.
All we need now for like the full coverage of Battle Royale games is to have a Sims Battle Royale.
Jeez.
God.
Who can kill their sim the fastest in the most sad way possible?
But with the most children.
With the most children.
Which, speaking of that, I saw an article where somebody had hosted a sex party in Sims, and everyone got pregnant.
How the fuck do you even... I haven't played The Sims.
Don't ask. I didn't want to read into it. I saw the headline and went, yep, that sounds about right. Moving on.
Moving on.
Oh, jeez.
Dear Lord. That's like the new indicator for if you're a singer or not. So, you play Sims? Yeah, I'm down with Sims. All right.
All right.
You're right. Yeah.
You want to go murder people later with me? I mean... All right, Platinum Games has a new action RPG coming out called Astral Chain.
That looks interesting.
Looks very anime-esque, but
Looks very Platinum Games-esque.
Yeah, very Platinum Games. But I think it looks good, at least from what they showed off, and that was what they ended the thing on. But you guys should look it up. Astral Chain. It was pretty good. Captain Toad got co-op mode added in, so you could do 2-player co-op on the same screen, and new DLC coming out this month. Yay!
Which I found kind of interesting because Captain Toad's release was kind of like they just released it kind of hush because it was obviously just a bring over from a Wii U game. Mm-hmm. But then like to hear that they were still like, no, we're still going to support the fuck out of this game. It was kind of like, all right, cool.
Well, that would be the only reason why they would make a deluxe version of it, because they realized that it was a good game and a lot of people liked it, but they didn't get to play it because it was on the shitty Wii U.
Right.
So, if you haven't played Captain Toad, it's very Monument Valley-esque. If you haven't played Monument Valley, it's a puzzle game. Both really good games. Captain Toad is awesome. You can play as Toad, then you can play as Toadette, both rescuing the other one. And in the co-op, one person plays as Toad, one person plays as Toadette. And we'll have to see what happens with the DLC. And also, Dragon Quest XI coming out on Nintendo Switch in September-ish.
Yeah, be excited for that because that's kind of cool.
Yeah.
I'm curious on how they're going to do a lot of this stuff. I mean, it's not like the game was a massive graphical powerhouse in the first place, but very curious on how they're going to do a lot more on just the cartridge style. However, the thing that I am excited about, and I haven't looked it up and I kept meaning to, is they're going to have a retro mode where you can play the game as old school style.
Cool. Oh, it looks so cool.
And you switch between them on the fly.
On the fly, yeah.
Yeah, like you don't have to do anything crazy. You can just be like, floop, retro, floop, regular.
That almost got me. I was just like, okay, that's kind of dope. If I didn't just sink 160 hours into this motherfucking game, I probably would have been like, oh, I could do it again. But no, I'm not doing it again this soon.
Okay, so
almost got Jason back.
You are right, though, Jason. Okay, so how many discs was Dragon Quest on the PS4? One?
Just one, yeah.
So one Blu-ray, so that means it's less than 50 gig. So that's mildly doable. I don't know what the capacity is on the cartridges, like what their max capacity. I don't think that Nintendo's said anything either. But the big thing would be like if you download the game, it comes with 32 gig built in. And then I got a 128 because 256 is just a fucking waste of money at this point because it's so much more expensive per gig.
Right.
So that's like half of my expanded storage just for one game.
Well, now they're coming out them one terabytes.
Yeah, but they're so fucking expensive.
Oh yeah.
I mean, I'm not like Jason cheap, but I'm pretty cheap when it comes to some of that shit.
I still rock my 1 gigabyte. Get the fuck out of here.
Except you don't have a Switch.
No, but in my phone that I got free with a phone like 5 years ago.
I need that extra gig.
Got that gig life.
So that's about it for the Nintendo news that we have, except for one last kind of bit. Additional rumors are come out that Microsoft might be publishing games on the Switch.
I don't know how much I believe this.
Oh my
I
god.
Like
It's been so over the place. Like some people are like they're gonna publish games. Oh, there's gonna be cloud gaming. Which when somebody sent me the cloud gaming thing, I immediately went off. I'm like, oh yeah, because Microsoft Azure is so fucking great. You have so much great bandwidth and processing power on the Microsoft Azure platform. Oh god, no, fucking stupid.
xCloud.
The best is that Mike Ibarra from Xbox then. Like, after all that shit started coming out on February 23rd, just tweeted out a screen capture of the dictionary definition of rumor. Noun, a story or statement in general circulation without confirmation or certainty of its facts. Gossip, hearsay. The best that I like is the example of using rumor in the gossip hearsay parts, don't listen to rumor.
Well, there you go then. It's done.
So, I don't know. I mean, they are bringing the Xbox Live experience, but I don't know if they're going to bring any actual games.
No, I don't think they will either.
It would go with some of the thoughts that we have of, them going more into publishing and possibly not doing additional hardware, although there are rumors that they're going to show hardware off at E3 this year, even though that would be fucking ridiculous. So we'll just have to wait and see, I guess.
It's going to be the Xbox VHS. It's as big as a VCR. Might as well use it as one.
Oh, the last one was, but it's not anymore. Nah. All right. Oscars were last night.
Who cares?
Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse and Black
Who cares?
Panther both won Oscars.
Still don't care.
Yeah, it's big
Good for them, but I don't care.
superhero movies and whatnot. I mean,
Legitimate video game podcast.
All right, fine. Let's keep on this whole video game thing. New HoloLens 2 was shown off yesterday. $3,500.
Where the fuck is the HoloLens in general?
Okay, so the HoloLens is an augmented reality headset that is supposed to be being geared towards businesses and whatnot. So who does Microsoft bring out to talk about the impact that the HoloLens is going to have on businesses? Epic
Microsoft?
Games.
Oh.
The makers of Fortnite.
Of course.
So there were a lot of weird things because, it's a commercial platform and everything like that. Microsoft was talking about all the software, but then they kept talking about how it was going to be an open platform. And open and businesses don't usually, go hand in hand. So we'll have to see what Microsoft's
I have no idea what their plan is here with this. I mean, ever since, what was it, 2-3 years ago at E3 when they brought out this great demonstration. Was it 4 years ago?
4 years ago was the first one.
When they brought out
then
that great demonstration
then they brought out
with
the Minecraft one, though.
Yeah.
The Minecraft one was dope.
That was dope.
That was
and then
so
you heard
dope.
nothing ever again. And then 2 years ago, they're like, actually, it's just for businesses. Fuck your Minecraft shit. Even though, okay, fine, but it's like, whatever, weird. And now all of a sudden they're like, oh, and by the way, we're making a second one. Who's asking for this?
It's cheaper. All right, so I was reading a lot of this stuff. They measured over 1,000 different people's heads from different races, different genders, all over the world, so that they could mold one that would be comfortable on most people's heads.
This is such a fucking Microsoft thing.
They legit said that.
Holy fuck, this is so ridiculous. We're making it custom down. Meanwhile, everyone else in this world just goes, why not just put some elastic on it? Why don't we just use current hat technology? It exists.
One reason why it's $3,500, it's got carbon fiber as part of its materials.
Who is fucking buying this? I am
businesses.
No, they're not.
Business? Hang on. Businesses who want to either spend $3,500 up front or do easy monthly installments over 24 months.
What the fuck is going on? Who's leading this?
They have no idea.
Who's leading this marketing team? First of all, two things. Number one, what the hell? Number two, they're a genius because they're getting paid top dollar and they're just fucking it up. So, I mean, someone over at Microsoft's just yes, you've definitely earned your keep with this HoloLens bullshit. Here's your paycheck, sir, that probably makes more than I do in 800 years.
It's probably they're just sitting there oh, we got all this budget. What are we going to do? I guess we'll build this HoloLens thing. All right, that's kind of cool. All right, how the fuck do we sell this thing? I don't know.
Dude, the only business that's buying it is Microsoft. They're selling it to themselves.
Okay, so here's one thought, is that Microsoft has been doing for a long time what is happening to Apple now, because Apple, without Steve Jobs, is just spewing out shit that Steve Jobs said no to. And they had no Steve Jobs over at Microsoft, so they've just continually been doing it, and now this is the culmination of all of that. We have no idea what's going on.
Wow. Wow.
All right. Last thing I got on news is there are rumors, and pretty substantiated rumors from a lot of the stuff that's going around, that Google is going to announce a cloud gaming platform at GDC.
Cool. You know,
So,
the one thing that I've learned with working with Google over the years is that if it's not based off search engine or website and stuff like that, they'll get their hands into a lot of stuff, and they may actually make a good platform, but then they just kind of don't support it.
They get bored with it.
They get bored with it and they move on. So you can
We've
make
made
like
3 social media platforms, and we just got bored with each of them. Went back to Facebook, so we're like, yeah, screw it.
great example. I mean, they could, some of those were okay, but
Orcut was pretty cool. Did
liked-
you use Orcut way back in the day?
way back,
Yeah.
probably, I don't know. But I mean, they do so much. They do a lot of their hands, and that's fine. That's all great and dandy for them. But as far as me being excited or anything like that, nah. It'll be like something that's just like, cool. Maybe they will. I'm sure. Maybe it'll like be like, maybe like PlayStation Now essence, where it's just like, hey, yeah, pay us a monthly subscription, and you can play like old games again or in browser
Which
or
is
something like that.
my assumption. And realistically, if I have to trust one of 3 companies to do cloud gaming right, Sony, Microsoft, or Google, I'll take Google.
Yeah, I mean,
I,
but
I might throw an audible and just say Amazon, but still.
Amazon would be the one that I would actually
Yeah.
put more behind, just because they have AWS and you know
Yes.
they know how to build a full system and structure, but with a server database and stuff like that. Where Google, of course, does too, but they don't have the. I don't think they have like the open server racks available for this kind of jazz.
They might. You never
They might.
know.
They might. I guess that's the thing. But but that's the thing though too. They're not going to like build a new building just for this to support it directly. It'll just be like, hey, yeah, here's something you can do, and it'll never be great, but you'll enjoy it. Suck it up, piggies. I don't know.
Suck it up, piggies. Is that what you just said?
That is what I said. We're all just little piggies sucking at that Google teat
Oh yeah.
We
for
are.
sure.
Oh yeah. All right. Anybody else got any other news that I missed
Yeah, I wanted to talk about what a disappointing couple weeks of releases.
that were supposed to be like great weeks of releases?
Yeah, they were like super toted up. I like that we called most of them that were just like stay away type stuff, but it's still just really sad to see like a full week of nothing coming out but like subpar games that were like.
Well, I was
super
kind
built
of
up.
surprised Crackdown came out.
Yeah, no one knew
I
Crackdown.
was like,
came
wait,
out.
that came out? I thought that was still delayed for like another 20 years.
Came out, no one cares. It plays like shit. Next, Jump Force came out, plays like shit. No one cares. Next, Anthem came out. To no one's surprise, it plays like shit. Next, it's
I
just
didn't
like
hear a lot of people say that Jump Force played like shit. I heard a lot of people complaining about other stupid things regarding like the story and the characters and whatnot, and character animation. But I never heard anybody say that it played like shit.
the problem that I've gotten, or at least because I haven't played it since release. I only played it at E3. But what I got from it is that it's too arcadey to be a fighter game, but too focused on the fighting to be an enjoyable arcade game. So it's kind of like in this nice little niche where no one actually really cares about it.
Oh, I'm so glad that I'm eventually gonna have to buy that because Ronan saw it the other day and was like, "Ooh, I want to play that." I'm like,
Oh, I'll definitely pick it up as like I think we talked about this before. Pick it up like $20 or less, and just to like see all the power moves that you'll easily get to, and then
especially
be like,
with
wow,
all
that
the
was kind of cool
expansions
looking.
that they do on it.
Yeah, exactly. It was like that was kind of cool to see, and I'm glad I paid just to like experience the over the topness of it all. But now I'm done with it, so that's kind of where it is with that.
Not a $60 game for sure.
Yeah, not for me at all. Even as a big fan, and I loved seeing it at E3 for sure. But yeah, from what I played and then from what I saw, as they kept adding more and more stuff on, I was like, yeah, they're definitely jack of all trades. This thing where their main competition, in my opinion, is Dragon Ball Fighter Z, or Fighters,
Which is their own game.
which is their own game.
Their own,
And it's
own Bandai game.
amazing as an actual fighter game, even as a non-fighter player. So it's just like maybe that's what they're trying to do, is try to get like more of a fighting quote-unquote game into younger audience, like your son and stuff like that. Maybe that
Yeah.
was their whole goal, and they're like, whatever.
No,
Gil said.
Ronan he loves fighters, so I don't see why that would be a problem.
Yeah. See. So there you go. I don't know.
Yeah.
Maybe.
But I will say that as I saw more and more of this game coming out for it, there was a tipping point where I knew it was going to be bad. Chris, do you know where that tipping point was?
When they added in Boruto?
Oh, that's one of them. At that same weekend, they also added in Black Clover.
That's right.
Whatever the hell that stupid I wish I was Naruto guy is from Black Clover. Yeah, when they added him in, I was like, oh god, okay. So you've got Boruto and stupid guy with giant black sword from Black Clover. And one of the things that I've seen is people who are having Boruto fight Naruto. And at one point, I swear I saw that it said, so you're like my dad, but younger? That's okay. I'm still going to kick your butt. Something like that. I'm like, oh, God. So
That sounds like a
painfully
translation
bad.
call. I don't know.
I don't know.
And then Crackdown. So that was, is that like Microsoft's only like
Exclusive?
exclusive release like this year so far?
Yep.
So far,
And will it be like what's next for them?
well, probably another Forza.
No, there's not.
Not
There's another
announced yet.
Forza. That's in September.
Yeah.
There's not
Or
a Gears
October.
game. There's not a Gears game coming out this year. There's not a Halo game.
What about
coming
that
out this
Gears
year.
Pop game?
Oh yeah, but I don't think that's not exclusive though, because that's on mobile. So
Oh my god! Now I'm gonna have to look this up.
you gotta look it up because it's just like,
Oh my god!
why would they do this? Like again, there's this marketing guy
Well, because
at Microsoft.
they had to actually like get out like
Something?
game. They had to get Crackdown out because Crackdown. I mean, shit, it's been sitting there for fucking ever.
Oh, that reminds me of someone else though. Scalebound, possibly coming to the Switch.
Oh,
yeah.
that was also another one of those like, yeah, not gonna happen.
That's
Yeah.
super rumor. Yeah.
Yeah, that
Yeah.
was another super.
It's like
duper
Microsoft already killed this.
Yeah, I don't see anything. There's like Dead or Alive 6, maybe. I forget if that's gonna be.
I don't think that'd be
Thing.
exclusive though.
Yeah, I don't think so. One Piece World Seeker.
No.
Final Fantasy 15 Episode Arden. That's not. World War Z finally coming. Mortal Kombat 11, which isn't. Ugly Dolls and Imperfect Adventure. That might be. Although I doubt it.
Whatever the
Rage
fuck
2
that is.
isn't. Warhammer Chaos Bane isn't. Yeah. That looks like about it.
Dude, that's sad. Man.
Yeah. Yeah.
How?
There better
So-
be some good shit.
They better be
coming
announcing
out.
some stuff like
At
hardcore because you
E3,
you
yeah.
don't show up at E3 last year and be like, we bought up all these publishers and we're gonna start cranking out games to effectively release fuck all.
Nothing.
Yep.
God,
Wow.
yeah, it's like Stellaris, Dirt, Dead or Alive 6 is, yeah, PC, PS4, and Xbox.
So they
Toe
bought
Jam
up
and
all these
Earl.
publishers and then made them quit
Maybe.
whatever they're doing. And Toe Jam and Earl is not.
Black Desert, Xbox One and PC. Whatever that is.
That's an MMO.
That's an MMO?
Yeah.
Okay.
Um,
Yeah, man, this is like...
maybe
it's kinda
they'll
painful.
announce the new Fable. That's supposedly in the works.
My God, can they like stop beating dead horses?
No. No. It's not possible.
I mean, everyone's
impossible.
bad about it. Everyone's bad about it, but like, it'd be one thing if Microsoft just wasn't only releasing dead horses. Like, like what the fuck? Like, can we get like an original IP? I mean, the only original IP that they've bought up or brought out recently was Cuphead, and that wasn't like a major AAA title.
It was an indie game.
Yeah,
Yep.
that blows my mind. That just blows my mind. I'm sorry. Like, obviously, I'm not a huge Microsoft fanboy, but I like gaming in general, and I like gear like swag and stuff. And I would love to have like joy out of owning an Xbox, but there's just none.
There's no reason to.
There's none. There's no like.
I am
blows my
going through this list. Xenon Racer. That's so far the only thing that I've seen. Like, this is... Wow.
That's bleak. That's bleak. You just dropped $500 on the performance machine.
To play games that previously came out for the Xbox One and just got optimized to be higher resolution, like on their PC counterpart.
Holy fuck, how pissed are you? That's insane to me.
Oh, Plague Tale comes out. I forgot about that. That's a PS4 game as well, too, though. But Plague Tale comes out in May. Chris. Yeah, I know you want to play that one. That's the one where they had like the rat mobs at E3 last year.
Oh, that's right.
Just
that's
the swarms of
Oh,
rats.
okay, yeah.
It's
That was
just controlling the
awesome.
lights and the rats. There was a different game that was like that. What was that called? Oh, back in the day. There was one that you had to do the exact same thing.
Yeah, but it was better. Graphically, at least.
Well,
I don't know
graphically,
about-
for
I don't,
sure.
I don't know about physically better, but graphically it was awesome. All right. Yeah, so God, Microsoft, please release some fucking games. I mean, I
Release
know that
some
they can't just
games.
pull games out of their ass right now. So that this is not a problem that's going to quickly go away. But yeah.
Because, I mean, at this point, it's just like now you're waiting at least another year until, like, even if you're the most hardcore of Microsoft fanboys, you got your Halo God that they announced last year. That's not coming out this year. It's at least another
No.
year away.
Yeah.
At least.
At least, you're right. Man, that's crazy to me.
Oh, we forgot about that. Apparently, backwards compatibility is all but confirmed on the PlayStation 5 for like almost every version of the PlayStation.
Which is nuts. And
I
I'm
doubt
not,
that that's going to be happening.
yeah, I doubt it
but-
too. I'm like, I'm not willing to like jump up and down, scream and shout, just because if that is true, that's fucking phenomenal. Like that's like the best thing they could have possibly ever done. Just to be like, hey, yeah, you think Nintendo's great to have like you play your old games on. Hey, how about you play your entire fucking library that you've had with us for the last 30 years? Enjoy
Yeah.
that.
And now I'm pretty certain that it's at least going to be PS4 backwards
Oh yeah,
compatible.
I
At
think
least
that
it
they
has
kind
to
of
be.
learned their lesson a little bit more of just being like, you know what, especially in this day and age with everything being download, like more and more people are download only, so
Mm-hmm.
you're already gonna have to have a little bit of that for the crossover time. So why not just be like, yep, everything can be, and just
Yep.
make it so much simpler.
Chris, you got any other news to talk about?
No, I think we about covered it.
All right. Jason, what you playing?
So I kind of like took a step back from jumping into anything brand fucking new, just because, like I said, we had a little bit of a disappointing release week for myself, and I told myself that I would totally pick up Resident Evil or something like, or Odyssey, or at least play Odyssey because I have it. But instead, Sony released a sale that had the BioShock collection for $15, and I was just like, you know what? I could play BioShock again for $15.
Oh, God.
So I've been marathoning the entire BioShock franchise, including all the DLCs, which is kind of dope because I didn't buy any of the DLCs back in the day, and I'm about halfway through BioShock 3, BioShock Infinite, at this point in time from going through all of them. And you know what? They hold up pretty well. BioShock 1. Phenomenal game in itself already, and the upscale that they did was great. I mean, obviously you can tell it's an older game.
I was
but
going to say, I thought that they did a remaster upscale on that
They
for
did.
the release. Yeah.
they did a little bit. I mean, they didn't do anything redone on any of them. So it's not like they redid the graphics or anything like that. Just did a little bit of an upscale. So stuff does look like mud if you get too close or anything like that. But that's forgivable because, like I said, it is an older game in itself already. But man, that game did still really hold up. There was a few jump scares that I remember from playing it back in the day that still got me. And you know, it's not typically a scary game. It's just a very environmental game. And so when someone just appears behind you and you turn around and he's just standing there, I had a little bit of like a blast him in the face with a shotgun. It's just like, oh, you got me there. You got me there, dead dude. Now that you're dead, you got me. That was good job. Good job on you. And holds up very well. It's kind of weird now, and I don't know why I didn't pick up on it. But you're either harvesting or saving the little sisters, right? The girls that have all the Adam they have to kill the big daddies, or when you're in the second one when you are the big daddy, and it didn't bother me back then. But now with them saying, come play with us, daddy, or you're my best daddy, I'm gonna tell all the other girls that I have the best daddy, it was just really just more creepy to me now. Maybe it's just a difference in like the 8 years that the game's been out, that because Daddy was always had like a little bit of a sexual undertone to it, but nowadays it's just like, I don't know. I've either gotten more jaded or the world's gotten more jaded with it, but it's been
Both.
Both. All right, I'll
Yes.
take that. I'll take that. And then
You're so big, Daddy.
yeah, dude, some of this stuff I was just sitting there, I was just like, man,
Oh man.
that's a little cringe. That's a little extreme. But no, they've held up very well. I still didn't like 2. It was fine and dandy. The DLC for 2 was really good, but the 2 overall, you could tell they were like, damn, we struck gold and we finalized the story. We should do something. And then 3, they did a really good job again as well. And 3 did a really carries over very, very well. Obviously, being the youngest of the 3. And great stories, great playthrough, great environments. I've enjoyed the crap out of it, and it's been more than well worth the $15 that I paid for it.
Oh man.
I would say it's definitely worth $15.
Yeah, $15.
Yes.
They are good
That is
games.
worth that
I
is
did
worth
enjoy them.
$15.
Put
So-
that
Well
shit
worth
in
it.
my hand. If the money doesn't show,
So, you owe me,
yeah.
So is that it? That's all you've been playing?
Dude, I marathon 3 fucking games. Give me a break. Yeah.
Did you beat them?
1 and 2, I did beat with all the DLCs, and like I said, I'm about halfway through 3 right now.
Oh, okay. Well, then I will give you that. Okay, so I've been playing 2 games that we got for review. The first one is called Observer, which came out on the Switch, and is it's a techno-future kind of Blade Runner-esque first-person like puzzle game, like a mystery-solving game, kind of like crap. What were the games? Old school. Shit.
Oblivion? What the fuck are you talking about?
No. Old school puzzle solving.
Myst?
Myst. Thank you very much. Jesus. It's like 10 o'clock at night. My brain is shutting down. But it's very much like a Myst. Myst meets like Arkham Asylum type, because you have like different views, because the character you're playing is like animatronic. He's like a part robot person, cyborg. And he can see different spectrums, and he can see different things. And you interact, and you solve puzzles, and you're trying to find your son, who has been off the grid for like a year and suddenly pops back up again. Strained relationship and whatnot. One of the weird things is that it's a smaller game. It's more indie, but it has Rutger Hauer as the voice of the main character. Which, if you don't know who Rutger Hauer is, he was in Blade Runner, which hilariously enough, he was in Blade Runner.
It came out on the PS4 and PC a few
while
years ago. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. And
So, it's an interesting game. It's really slow moving, especially like in the beginning. There's a lot of like tones as far as the coloring goes, so it's kind of hard to move around in some of the areas and differentiate things. But Rutger Hauer basically is doing the voice as if Liam Neeson had a stroke. That's what it sounds like to me. Slightly slurred, very much, I have a specific set of skills, like that. And I feel bad because I haven't seen Rutger Hauer in anything since I think Batman Begins. So I don't know if he's had a stroke and this is like not unintentional, or if he's intentionally doing this voice.
that's either hilarious or sad.
Yes, they're really hilarious or really sad. I played it for about 4 or 5 hours, going through and solving. I mean, I don't want to spoil too much because there is a lot of it's a lot of like crime solving and talking to people, figuring out where to go next. At the beginning of it, you're going over to what you think is your son's apartment in like the really ghetto part, and then they do a lockdown, and then you have to talk to people and try to get out of the lockdown, and so on and so forth. But it's an interesting game. If you like puzzle games, I'd say pick it up. If you don't like puzzle games, definitely don't pick it up though, because It's very, very heavy on puzzle and crime solving.
Now, when you say puzzle, you mean more like a point and click style
Yeah,
of puzzle?
point and click style of puzzle. Yeah, to where you're going through and you have to hit the switch on one side, go to another area, find a hidden switch in another area, so that then it will drop down a thing from the sky or from the ceiling, so that then you can turn off the security system. That type of stuff.
Interesting. So it's another one of those games that's like good, and they brought it to the Switch because it can run it now, and why not?
Might as well.
Might as
Sure.
well?
Yep.
Okay.
Why not? The second one that I've been playing is called Degrees of Separation. And I originally requested this game. So when we go through Evolve, they don't just randomly send us games. We have to request them. So we only request games that we think that we would want to actually play. So I requested it because I thought, oh, maybe it'll be a game that I can get Shannon to play with me on. And then I realized that Shannon doesn't want to play games. But it's a co-op puzzle solving game. But like real like platforming puzzle solving and like intricate like moving around in concert. You can play with single player, which I didn't play. I only played in co-op. I played it with Ronan.
Oh, jeez.
Which was a mildly infuriating 3 hours that I played with him. And the characters look really bad. Even when I was requesting this game, I just looked at them like the characters look like the shittiest kid web video game characters. They don't look great. Like they're all hand drawn, but they're too pristine with these weird 3D things, and you'd have to look at them to see. And it's like once you look at them, you'll be like, oh, I get what he's talking about.
Yeah, they look like they're clip art characters. Where
Pretty much.
They're put together with like just other pieces. And like, oh, what's that old Facebook? Because you're right, it's like that Facebook game, like Jenkies or Jill. Oh God, what is it? I don't know. Everyone's got their stupid own little avatar character that they create, but it's all made from like choose your eyes, choose your hair, and everyone looks the same but different. And you're right, this is like very much that look.
Here's the thing: only they look that shitty. The rest of the game actually looks great, and the whole premise behind the game is that she's basically heat. So she's heat and everything that goes along with that, and he's ice. And as you go through the game, so you start off and you have her waking up and things are cooling down, and you have him waking up and things are warming up in the areas, and they're both running into the same direction. They both come to a bridge, and they meet at the bridge. And the colors, so like him, everything's blue. Her, everything's like orange and fall-y or springy. Like you can see greens and everything like that, and everything's frozen for him. And when they come together, there's no change. There's a drastic line of where everything is. So and the line will move throughout the screen. So if she goes up and he goes down, the line will move vertically up and down on the different sides of the screen, and you can see the difference in the coloring. If he's closer to one end than the other, then the screen will be predominantly spring. If she's closer to the end, then the screen will be predominantly winter, which also plays into other physics of if she's on the screen and she hits like certain lanterns the same way, they automatically light up and they rise, raising a lot of platforms. Whereas if he's on, they basically like de-ignite, they get put out and the platforms drop down. She can swim through water. When he runs over the water, it freezes.
Interesting.
So there's a lot of really, really interesting puzzle mechanics with it. Really tough puzzle mechanics that you have to work with, of getting one person to like, so you run across, you go up and over and down, and one person goes into the cave. Then the other person goes back up and over and down so that he can make a vent cold, so it's no longer blowing air, so that then the girl can swim through, jump up and go, and then the guy has to move over again, so he turns off another vent so that then she jumps up. It's very much in concert. It is very, very co-op heavy.
This reminds me of Trine.
a little bit like Trine, but I think cooler in the way that they do it. I thought that it was a little gimmicky at first, but the way that they do the heat and the cold is really awesome, and it is on the fly. It is constantly processing it. It is really cool to see, and when they come together, you get like this like spatial like light disc that forms in between them. They're not allowed to touch, and that's part of like the story is that they can't touch. There's always a barrier between them, and they can't do anything. And then
forever alone.
Forever alone,
Aww.
but together. Forever together, but forever alone. And then they come across like two staffs that then they can use to form like light bridges and shit like that. So you get really intricate in the way that you solve puzzles. It's really cool.
So this is nice little puzzle week going on for you.
If you like puzzle games, like platforming puzzle games, this is actually a really good game. The shitty clip art looking characters aside, the rest of the game is really beautiful. Like, it is really cool looking, and just jumping around and seeing the changes of color, and then like if one does a quick jump over, like the screen will flash and flip so that the coloring is different. They do a really, really good job with the visual mechanics on it.
Yeah, so they're loading it up. They're basically loading every level like twice, and it's constantly rendering all the time.
Yeah,
That's
constantly rendering the entire time, and it's just fluctuating. Like, it's really hard to explain verbally without like showing somebody. But if you watch some gameplay on this game, it's cool. It is a really interesting setup, and some of the puzzles are really fucking hard. So I would say that if you like platforming puzzle games, pick it up. So to recap, Observer, meh, it's okay. If you like the Myst style and crime solving thing and whatnot, or like hearing somebody who sounds like they've had a stroke, pick up Observer. But Degrees of Separation, I think that is a great game, and it's a good co-op game. Probably would start ruining friendships just as much as Overcooked.
My favorite part of all this is upon Googling Degrees of Separation, you get another fantastic game, which is 6 Degrees of Separation from Kevin Bacon.
That's not a game. Oh, yes, it is. It's the 6 Degrees of Kevin Bacon, not 6 Degrees of Separation with Kevin Bacon.
That's the whole thing. It's 6 Degrees of Separation with Kevin Bacon.
No, it's 6 Degrees of Kevin Bacon. 6 Degrees of Separation was the movie that came out with Will Smith in it.
No, because it's the 6 Degrees of Separation, but Kevin Bacon.
Sure. Anywho,
smells like Kevin Bacon. Anyway.
I don't know what to think about that. So, Chris, you have been playing 2 games, 3 games,
4 games.
4 games.
I know.
Chris has been gaming.
Well, I
folks.
dabbled in like 3 games. Really played 1 game.
All right, well, we'll save the really played one for last. So you got to talk about the other 3. So go for it.
So as we talked about last time, I did pick up Horizon Zero Dawn.
Yay!
So I did start playing that. You guys are right. That game is super fun.
Absolutely.
It's a great game. I'm not super far into it yet. I don't know if we really need to talk too much about it since we've talked about that game plenty on this one.
Yeah.
And so I did get a review copy for Origami Shadow Edition.
Oh, really?
For the Switch.
This was a game that came out on the PS4 previously, but this is like the like expanded version with the DLC and stuff, right?
Yep, it's got all the DLC. It's basically you're a ninja assassin.
It's like Tenchu Stealth Assassins.
You're like the summon guy or whatever that this girl is kidnapped, so she summoned you to try to save her from the soldiers of light. And so on your cape, you basically have to stick to the shadows, and that's how you get your power. Like, you recharge your powers and use your shadow powers. And so that allows you to teleport to other shadows. And then you can also kind of create little you get abilities like create shadows and other things. If you're direct sunlight, your power meter goes down, and that's displayed on the back of your cape on the runes.
I remember this being a really cool, like, indie, like, stylized game when it was released. I had no idea that it was even coming to the Switch. That's kind of cool.
Yeah. And you really got to use your stealth, and because if you get caught, you basically have to run and hide, because you just really can't go
It's
head to
like,
head
do
with
they
these
just
guys.
murder you if you're caught in the light?
Yeah, and you really have to like time it right on your attack, otherwise you won't swing at all, and they'll just kill you. And they can projectile their swings, like this little shooting slash, so they can kill you from a distance too.
Oh, so like shoot key or whatever off,
Yeah,
whatever you want to say it is.
yeah. So you basically just gotta sneak around and either sneak around them or just assassinate them.
Interesting. That's
Another one of
kinda
those good
cool.
games that's like been around for a while, but you can now play it on the go with the Switch.
Yep.
Yay. And
Yay.
you get like different like magic powers and shit like that. I remember seeing, right?
Yeah, as you go through, you pick up more powers and.
Nice. All right, what would you say about Origami? Because we got this as a review copy, so would you recommend to pick up or not? I guess.
I would recommend it if you haven't picked up before and you really like stealth games, kind of
Okay.
sneak around and take me out silently. It's kind of, I guess, kind of like if you would be like in stealth in like Assassin's Creed, just you really don't want to get caught in this game. A little more on the hardcore stealth side.
you don't have wall climbing and a giant bell tower to climb up of to get away from people
Or haystacks.
or haystacks. All right, well, what's game number 3?
So I did get in the closed beta for Kurtzspell.
Oh,
Which
yeah.
is, It's a anime style.
It's an ARPG. But
yeah,
it looks
action
like an
RPG,
MMO,
but-
right? Or is it an
Yeah,
MMO?
so kind of maybe more like Destiny is. Like you start, there's a main area where you're with other people, and then you're able to go on solo missions by yourself,
Okay.
or do like 2 versus 2 fighting combat. But the solo missions are basically just boss battles, so it's basically just one-on-one in a fighting arena.
Which could be, well, I guess we'll have to wait and see because this is still in beta, right? So I mean,
Yeah.
like, this could just be like the way that they're showing it in the beta.
What's this game again?
Kurtzfell, it's awesome.
Yeah.
Chris, tell
There's-
us about your character.
Yes, there's a character creator, and you can choose your bust size, your hip size, whether
Your
they're
thigh
saggy,
size.
saggy boobs or nice perky ones.
Okay, I now know more about this game than I ever needed to.
Basically, your ultimate
Chris,
waifu.
what did you pick?
Oh, big perky boobs with some thick thighs.
Thick thighs. Thick. 2 C's, everybody. Thick.
Some multicolored main character hair.
Because it is very anime-esque. Like,
Yes.
I remember seeing this pop up. I'm like, oh man, I wish I had a PC built so that I could play this game.
You would, Eric.
Just to say that I did, just because it would just be hilarious.
Build up your lolly character.
No, she wouldn't be flat. Come on, she'd be big tittied and thick thighed like Chris's.
My God.
All right.
Good character traits.
Yes, great character traits. All right, so now your last game, Chris.
Yes. I've been waiting for this game for a long time. Lost my shit when it was announced at E3. Metro Exodus.
Literally jizzed in your pants.
I did. And I beat this game. I dropped 30
What?
hours on this game in a week.
What?
Like,
Yeah,
it's
less
basically
than a
all I
week.
did.
Less than
Yeah.
a week. This came out on Friday. It is Monday night.
Well, no, it came out a Friday a week ago.
Oh yeah, Friday a week ago. That's
So I
right.
downloaded Friday night, and then I had like soccer and some other shit Saturday. So I didn't play it till like Sunday morning before going to UFC. And then plus I had our homework for our anime podcast.
for cutscene.
Yep. And I played the fucking shit out of this. And as you can hear in the background, some music from the game. I'm a big Metro fan. This game is basically the first two, 2033 and Last Light, plus all their DLCs put together in length. So it's quite a bit longer. In the first two, your ammo is currency. In this one, it's not. There is no currency because you end up stealing a train and traveling outside of Moscow across the whole of Russia. And so you craft your ammo and weapons. You craft your ammo
so you
at
are
like
bullets
workbenches.
still your ammo? Or bullets still your currency or anything?
No, you find like bolts and you find like shit around, and then you can craft it.
Oh,
so you can
okay.
craft like your ammo at a workbench with the crossbow, and then there's the air gun. You can craft like the bolts or the little BBs out in the field with your backpack. But they also have like secondary incendiary ammo that you can only craft at a workbench.
Okay.
There are a few like kind of open area levels are pretty large. And those are kind of like open world-esque. Like there's some optional stuff you can go check out. Like I can go, here's some bandits over here, and go kill them. Oh, and they had some people captured. Oh, and they gave me a key and told me to go check out this other place where I can get some cool gear.
So like some traditional RPG type stuff that you could do.
Yeah, and so you find some stuff you can upgrade your gear with. Get new weapons, completely change your weapons. So you can get like a pistol, like a little 6-shooter revolver. You can change, oh, now it's an 8-shooter or a 3-shooter. Oh, I'm going to put this rifle stock on it. Oh, I'm going to put this long barrel on it. I'm going to put a scope on it. Now it's a rifle.
Interesting.
So like the weapons can completely change based on how you customize them.
And then what about your other gear? Like I know the gas mask and like your filters and all that stuff like that were a big part of the other games. Does that carry over again?
Yeah, most of the times out in the open, since you're outside Moscow, you can just breathe the air normally, but there are certain areas where you need them. At the very end, when you enter what the chapter's called the Dead City, which is a place that is way more toxic than Moscow, and you really need that, and you actually get radiation poisoning at the end, which you start like seeing shit.
Spoilers.
Yeah.
So is this wrap everything up, or is it setting up for more of a sequel? I mean, be as lightly spoilerific as possible.
Well, it's based off a book series, and this is based off the third and last book. So I don't know if there's going to be any more.
And but
there is always a possibility of expanding the world, of going beyond of, hey, yeah, we got to this point, and this point's kind of cool, but hey, there's also a lot of other shit going on in this world that we do.
And how's the gameplay? Is it the gun mechanics pretty good? Is it just running around typical first-person shooter style, or like what sets it aside?
The shooter mechanics are pretty solid. If you play any shooter, you're going to be pretty much familiar with them. Your guns do get dirty, and you can only clean them at workbench. And they get dirty, they start to jam more and more often. So I definitely had that happen on AK-47 for me, that jammed a shit ton after I got knocked into the lake by the czarfish. That's basically a gigantic mutant, like largemouth bats, I would say.
What about giant gorilla bear? Zombie gorilla bear, or whatever the fuck you want to call
Oh god, fuck that goddamn bear.
it. What did you say that they called it? Like the guardian of the forest?
The master of the forest. And so they usually just, you hear them talking, they'd just be like, oh, the master. Oh, I heard some shots up. Someone was dealing with the master. Someone got the master pissed off. What a fucking idiot.
I'm still not over czarfish. That's amazing.
Well, because the czarfish was, there were some
This is
cultists.
Russia.
Yeah, it's Russia.
I know, but that's
And
awesome.
There's basically like this cult, and they worship the czarfish.
Oh, Jesus.
I would too.
And
Sign
they
me up
hate
for the
technology.
Oh, my God.
czarfish. That's amazing.
Wow. Okay.
So, there are some bugs in the game, though.
as we saw before we
Yeah.
were recording the podcast, that there were some glitches.
Yeah, there's some glitches, some definitely bugs. I saw some bandits like floating in the air. Like they were on a roof, and then they started walking. They just start going floating off in the middle of the air. It's like, well, I guess I'll shoot you in the middle of the air then. You fucker.
Was there anything that broke the game or like totally fucked up continuity to where it's like you couldn't move forward and you had to restart?
No.
Well, then I
So
like, you know, there's weird glitches. Like we saw the one that Kotaku had where it was like the guy was supposed to jump on the train, but the train was way further back, and then he jumps onto invisible train. Like that's kind of forgivable, but it's another thing when it's like I saw a Far Cry 5 one where like a character comes flying in on an ATV, slams into a wall, and dies. And then you're like, well, shit, I was supposed to talk to that guy. Or like the ones where we saw where like a cougar came and ate them. It's like,
yeah.
you know, I could see like, you know, certain things like that pissing you off, but those things, not so bad.
Did it have a lot more of the fear factor to it? I remember like crawling around in the dark for 1 and 2 being like real like creepy aspect of it. Was a lot more of that too?
Oh yeah, there's definitely one place where I'm walking through this train terminal. It's radiated on the bottom, it's flooded, the Czarfish is down there, and the place is just crawling with ghouls.
Fucking
The Czarfish eats some of them for me, which is nice.
Yeah,
So props to
for
the
the win.
Czarfish.
Man, I'm gonna praise that Czarfish now too. We should get some documentation on
Praise
this
the
cult.
Czarfish.
Yeah.
Praise the
That's
Czarfish.
CZAR, right?
Yeah, TZ.
Praise Czar.
TZAR.
Praise Czarfish.
Praise
Praise be
Czarfish.
Starfish.
Praise be. Praise be. So, is it stand up to everything you were expecting or hoping for, Chris?
Yeah, it was me. It did get a little emotional at the end. I nearly had some tears down.
Whoa.
So- It definitely pulled the heartstrings a little bit at the end there.
Are you gonna play it again? That's usually a good tell for me. If you play a first-person shooter more than once, it's usually a pretty good indicator.
I think I might. I do kind of want to go back and get the Redux versions of 2033 and Last Light, play through those again.
That's what I've been kind of wanting to do. I've been wanting to play the 1 and 2 again on the. I was hoping that they'd be on the sale too instead of BioShock, but I'm all happy.
Although I do kind of have to wait on that because while the credits were rolling, my power supply blew and my PC is currently down for the count.
That's right. Perfect timing.
I do want to give props to it for lasting until the very end.
That is hilarious that it just timed out with credits going. So, wow.
Yeah. Well, at least wait until I finish the game.
Yeah. Thank you very much, Chris's computer, for holding out on the power supply. Dying.
So on the question is, can my PC play Metro Exodus? The answer is yes, but only once.
But not for long. Oh man! All right.
So back to this Kurt spell. I finally Googled it, and I think we need to talk a little bit more about.
See, told you so.
I'm just kidding.
Yeah, sure you are. It's not lolly at all. It is full on mature woman.
Somehow, Eric, you made that sound way worse.
You want me to make it sound even worse?
No.
Mature woman.
Okay, I'm deleting this tab.
Yes, officer. She's a very mature
Podcast
woman.
is over. It is done now.
This game's over. It's not even out yet. Fuck it now.
No, it can't be over. You know why? Because now it's time for You Are Wrong Because Reasons.
God damn it.
You are wrong. You are wrong because reasons.
All right, everybody. Chris is on the hot seat this week. So, Chris, what topic did we give you?
Best first-person shooter single player experiences.
Yeah.
Yeah, mostly what I wanted was like, I want to know your first-person shooter games that you would play regardless of it having multiplayer or not. Like the ones that are just like, man, this is a dope-ass game.
All right. Do you have any honorable mentions, Chris?
I do.
How many you got?
How many do you want?
2 max, please.
Okay.
So you got to narrow it down to 2 now. Go.
Okay. Honorable mention, Call of Duty. The first one.
The very first Call of Duty.
Very
okay.
first Call of Duty.
I was really
because-
ready to hate on you about this, but you're right. That first one was actually pretty decent.
Yeah, and it was at a time when like Medal of Honor was big and all the games are you're the solo dude just fucking everyone up and they're like, hey, no one fights alone.
Yeah,
And so
'cause it was
you're
like
always with us.
Battlefield was the one that had like that was the first of like the big ass fucking battles. So
Yeah.
for multiplayer. So yeah, I could see that. All right,
And this was
what's
just
your
like-
other one?
Halo.
Halo,
Okay.
huh?
Yes.
OG Halo 1, right?
Yeah, which I never had an OG Xbox myself, so I only played it on other people's Xboxes.
I actually
played-
was one of my first ones that I thought about was Halo. Halo 1 through 3, the storyline is dope. That's a great
Yeah.
game to play. Like that was the main reason to have the Halo TV adapter back in the day, was for Halo.
Yep.
I did not have an Xbox. I played Halo on the PC. Was much better at PC than I was on the Xbox.
Yeah, but that was like 5-6 years later. Old.
No,
Old.
it was like 2 years
No,
later.
it was not. I'm sorry.
No,
dude.
it was like
a
5 or
big
6
deal.
years later.
It was a while.
Way, was it?
It was a big
Hang
deal.
on.
Because I
Dude,
remember
am I
we were
gonna have
at
to look
that
this
E3
up?
when it was announced, and I was just like, fuck yeah. Because I'm really fucking good at Halo.
Oh, let's see here.
Best sniper rifle in
God,
any
it's really
game
hard
is
to
a
see.
handgun from Halo.
Hard facts.
Hard facts.
Hard facts. All right. Okay. I guess we're ready to go then.
Yep,
Are you
number
ready, Chris?
5. Let's do it.
Number 5.
Number 5, Medal of Honor, Allied Assault.
Allied Assault.
Yeah.
All right.
That D-Day invasion mission, I don't know how many times I played that
That's what I
level.
was going to ask. It was the one that had that amazing D-Day mission.
Yeah.
Because there's that D-Day mission and the one where you're in the desert, which I remember just being, at the time, drop dead gorgeous. Like, they were just
Yeah.
phenomenal
Yeah.
looking.
That D-Day one was awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was so fucking sick.
All right. Number 4.
BioShock Infinite.
How about that?
Yep.
I was wondering if you were gonna put any of the BioShock games on this.
Yeah. Because BioShock Infinite is the game I beat the week after I beat Metro Last Light. That was a good solid 2 weeks for my gaming.
The good old days, right? When we had the time. Number 3.
Number 3, Doom.
Sweet.
Wait, which Doom?
OG Doom.
Oh.
OG Doom.
Wow.
I went OG style.
I
was kind of one of
could
the
see
first person shooter games.
That's true.
Yeah.
I mean, which...
that. Well, it wasn't the first. Well, it may have been your first first-person shooter, but it wasn't the first first-person.
Right.
Wolfenstein?
But, like,
Yeah.
the first one that you're really exposed to. And
Yeah.
if you really want to think about it, honing back to what I said earlier, more times you play an FPS game, the more it kind of stands out. And I can't think of another FPS game that I played more times than OG Doom. Maybe Doom 2.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah.
Just for that alone, I can kind of get behind that.
All right. Number 2.
Half-Life.
Oh,
One.
wow.
Half-Life 1. Nice.
Yeah. So I remember seeing original Half-Life on like the store shelves back in the day. I'm like, nah, that game looks lame as fuck.
Man, seeing Gordon on there and just like that regular logo and everything, yeah, it
With
looked,
his
it
glasses,
looked
yeah.
plain.
Yeah. And so I never picked it up until Steam came out and they gave away all that shit for free.
Holy shit, you held out that long?
And then I played it, and even though it looked like dated and shitty at that point, I'm like, holy shit, this game is amazing. I should not have held out this long.
Oh my god, that's insane that you made it that long without playing Half-Life. How, as a PC owner, did you just be like, nah man, everyone and their mom's wrong. That guy looks like a fucking nerd.
Fucking nerd.
Okay,
I'm playing it.
hang on, I'm gonna cut in here. I finally found it. Halo came out on the PC 2 years later.
Bullshit. It was way longer than that.
Nope, 2003. Release date September 30th, 2003.
Halo, the original Halo was a 2001
Halo.
game?
Yeah, original Halo came out in 2001. Halo 3 came out,
could've
or Halo
sworn
on
it was
PC came out in
2000.
2003.
That's crazy.
Yeah, it was only 2 years later. And I did play Halo at like your house and other
Well, of
people's
course,
houses
yeah.
and whatnot. But Then I picked it up on PC, and I'm like, oh my god, this is so much better. Because I was just better with keyboard and mouse. I mean, everybody is, unless you're just weird.
All right. Besides Eric
All
being
right.
a fucking asshole,
Are you
number
ready?
1.
Number 1!
I think we all know what's going to be number 1.
GoldenEye.
Yes. No, Metro.
Yay! Which Metro?
Wait, which Metro? The first one?
I did some thinking about this. I'm going with Last Light.
Last Light.
The second
Yep.
one.
Second one.
All right.
The first one, when it came out, the shooting mechanics of it weren't that great, which I think they've kind of
that's-
fixed in
for a first-person
with the
shooter,
Redux.
That's a big thing.
Yeah. And, like, as I've been playing Exodus, I've been thinking, like, is Last Light better, or do I just remember being better?
It could
And-
be that you were better because what was the last first-person shooter you played on your PC?
Fucking probably Bioshock Infinite.
Yeah, see?
Call of Duty?
Oh yeah,
World
you
War
you had 4, not Call of Duty 4.
You
Black
didn't have
Ops.
Black.
Had
you
World
didn't
War
have Black
II.
Ops 4.
No, I had World War II.
Yeah, so it'd been probably about a year since you had played. So I could see that you were probably better back then.
I just think was Last Light the better game, or do I just remember from nostalgia being better? But then at the end of Exodus, I'm like, you know what? Goddamn, Exodus was good. And so, but I'm like, you know what? Going Last Light.
Go
Fair
with
enough.
First Love.
Go with the First Love.
Fair
Go with
enough.
First Love.
That's all right.
All right, Jason, what do you got?
Man alive, I was really ready to hate on you for saying Medal of Honor and Call of Duty, but you're right. There was some really good scenes back then that was really kind of breathtaking because
And there were good entries into those games.
and they were
back
good
in the
entries
day.
into those games because it's hard to remember that back then their main focus was the single player experience, and multiplayer was just like, hey, here's a happy like little thing that we have as well that you can play on, because it wasn't as big of a thing as it is obviously now for consoles, I should say,
Right.
specifically. So they did have a focus on it, and then nowadays there's no single player whatsoever anymore, and it's all just a multiplayer. So yeah, it's definitely a different beast now than it is. Good call on Halo, good call on Doom. I was ready to be like, no way, man, 2016 Doom was like the shit. Like I love evangelizing that game just because it's so phenomenal. I haven't rented out a game more times than Doom, like, to people. I'm just like, here, play the fuck out of this game. You'll never feel better playing a game than Doom, because you're just gonna be like, yeah, die, with heavy metal music going on. It's the best.
Yep. Go listen to
Yeah.
soundtrack. You'll love yourself.
But yeah, you guys are totally right. Like Doom, OG Doom is like, that's the game that we all played so many fucking
So
times.
many
Even
times.
when you couldn't
So
play
many times.
deathmatch.
Yeah, yeah. Even when you didn't even know.
I
what
don't
you were
think I
doing.
was old enough to play that game, but I still play that game.
Yep, didn't matter. You played
I
Doom.
wasn't old enough to play that game, and I still played that game. I used to go to my mom's office, and on the weekends we could play it on their network because she was a software programmer, so the IT department just had it networked together so that we could do that.
Crazy. Bioshock Infinite, I like, but I would have to disagree with the Bioshock. I'd say OG Bioshock, the first one, was way better of the entire
See,
trilogy.
And this is coming from
I
a
don't
guy
think I
that
ever
recently played
fully
both, or all
played
three of them.
those ones. I know I played the demos of the first two. I don't know if I actually fully played those games.
I don't know if you'd like them as much, Chris, because especially the first one, it's way more environmental. It's not a shooter. It is like a environmental exploring, story-driven game that, hey, yeah, you blast the fuck out of people every once in a while. And I just enjoyed the scenery, the tenseness, the setup for it a lot more than it's hard to find in common games, and that was just a great one. Where Bioshock 3, they did a great job of the setting and scenery and stuff like that too, but it's definitely more of a shooter aspect.
Oh yeah.
Ones that I'm surprised you didn't say, Dishonored. It's a dope ass single player game. I really like all the choices you can make in both of those. Obviously,
Would you
have to go with.
consider that an FPS though?
Yeah, I would, because it's first person and you can shoot. You don't have to.
Oh God! So you're stretching on the S.
I don't think I am. I mean, because you'd still.
It's the same. It's the
qualify
same
it
thing
as-
that I would say with Bioshock. Of like the first Bioshock was definitely more of a narrative puzzle solving, and
No,
every
there's no
once in a while
puzzles.
you would
There's
kill
no puzzles.
somebody.
It's move to the next area, kill everything, and loot everything. That's all that Bioshock is. It's just they had a great narrative and great storyline. No, Bioshock is a shooter, plain and simple. Like that's all there is to it. But it's not like a shooter that we have now. Like if you were to put Call of Duty next to Bioshock, obviously the amount of bullets shot out of a Call of Duty game are 1,000 to 1 of the Bioshock ones. But it's still a shooter game.
A stretch I almost kind of did, and I kind of wrote down would be like Skyrim. You shoot spells. You shoot
That is
arrows.
very much an
You can play in
RPG,
first
though.
person.
I would. It's an FPS RPG. I
Yeah,
would
it's an
definitely
FPS
put it in there,
RPG.
though. I wouldn't put it in this list, but you're right. It would fall into the same thing for me. This one's probably my only stretch that you'll get mad at me for, but Borderlands 2. I absolutely love the fuck.
Why is that a stretch?
Because it's technically you can play online any given time. We said without multiplayer.
Yeah, so I was considering
Yeah.
that, like I was gonna say when I popped it in of like honorable mention because of the fact that like someone could drop in your game if they wanted. But you know what? It's fucking completely enjoyable playing by yourself.
Yeah, I
You don't need a second person to do it. You
don't.
can go through and fuck everybody up.
and it's just super fun. Great story, great acting, great everything. Like it's just a fun game.
Scripting,
Yeah,
like
scripting.
everything.
I played most of it by myself anyway because I have no friends, and enjoyed the crap out of it. And back to the original point, if you play FPS more than once, it's usually pretty good. And I've played at least 4 times for Borderlands 2. So
For a fairly long game.
for a very, very long game. Like, there's
Yeah.
a lot to it, which is crazy to think about. Like, when you talk about Exodus or even, what's the other one? Oh, Infinite. You know, both these games are fairly long at, like, 30 hours. But Borderlands has that beat, like, no problem. Like, they extend
like
out.
60 plus.
Easy.
And then you have DLC, and you
DLC,
get
yeah.
Tiny Tina's Assault on Dragon Keep.
Which is like
Sorry,
20 hours in
Dragon's
itself.
Keep. Yeah. All right. OG Quake. The first Quake. I played that a ton.
What's really
And-
sad is that Quake was great, but I cannot even tell you what that game was in not multiplayer essence.
Yeah.
I played it in single player a lot, and I loved it. GoldenEye, which we all know about the multiplayer aspect of GoldenEye, but you could play through the story of GoldenEye
Disagree.
many times.
I did not like the storyline.
Oh man.
If I was busting out GoldenEye again, it was to play multiplayer. I
Yeah.
played through GoldenEye the one time. Multiple times. Okay, you had to play through it multiple times to get all of the unlocks, though, for multiplayer. That was the only reason why I would do it.
Portal.
Yeah, you know what?
Yeah.
Like,
It's a
hey, you're
shooter.
giving me shit about first-person shooter your
Hey,
ass here.
this is actually shooting the entire time, though. Everything you are doing to solve these puzzles requires shooting.
No, it requires lifting and dropping boxes into the incinerator, you dirty, dirty bastard.
No, launching them from portals that you shoot out of a gun.
No, you pick up your companion cube and you murder it. You son of a bitch.
Murder, murder, murder. And it involves murder, okay?
That's true. That's a great game,
But-
too.
Portal is like, even once you've beat it, you can still go back and do it because, like, some of those puzzles you tried 60 times and then finally got it and then promptly forgot exactly how to beat it afterwards.
Oh, for sure. Because you just, like, get moving.
And then Portal 2, I mean, that was, like, they just added more stuff that you had to work with and a good story. But I think that Portal 1 was the best out of the two as far as story because it was so novel, it was so new.
It's fresh, yeah.
was
I'll agree
fresh.
to that a lot. And while we're talking about Steam games with that, Half-Life 2 beats Half-Life 1 to me.
I had Half-Life 2 written down
Yeah,
too,
I
but I was
mean-
gonna let him go with Half-Life
Yeah.
1, saying that he had it. But yeah, Half-Life 2 is definitely better than 1.
I mean, you play that game even now, and it looks still pretty decent.
It still holds
Yeah,
up.
it still holds up a
Holds up
lot.
well.
And, like,
And the reason why I went with 1 because graphically it doesn't hold up for shit. Still enjoyable game. And I did also like some of the spin-offs, like Opposing Force,
or Blue Shift and stuff like
Blue
that.
Shift,
Yeah.
and that. Where it's like, okay, same story from a different point of view.
which is cool.
It was cool.
Okay.
In the age of non-DLC, you had to actually go out and buy a
But
different
didn't
game.
Blue Shift was still DLC price, wasn't it? Only like $20.
Yeah, they weren't. I don't remember them ever being full price games. But you obviously went and bought the CD.
Yeah. You just go to the store and you buy it. Novel concept, kids. You had to go to the store and buy it.
I know you had to put on pants.
You put on pants to buy video games. Nobody thinks about that now. They're like, I can just buy video games with no pants on.
That's right.
It's perfectly fine.
Yep.
Living the dream, man. Living.
Don't even own a pair of pants.
All right, and on that note, please like us, subscribe to us, rate us on iTunes if you can, but subscribe to us on Google Play and on Spotify or wherever it is you find podcasts. You can also find us Facebook, IBIF1st.com, Twitter, Instagram. Chris's Grindr account now is Chris the Bear. But pretty much every social media platform, I Beat It First. Let us know what you think, if you've got ideas for You're Wrong Because Reasons ideas, because right now we're just still fucking with each other. We really decided we wanted to see how much further we could make Chris have to think about the FPS genre than what he already has. So please let us know if you've got anything. And if you've got any criticism, just email us. Jason, Chris, Eric, whatever, at ibeatitfirst.com. Jason, you got anything else?
No, thank you so much for listening, guys. And we don't advertise this at all, so please tell your friends if you got any nerdy buddies that are like all about games. Let them know that we're here, that we're talking. We'd love to hear their opinions too. So we appreciate your ear lobes to listen in. It's great.
And as Jason said, we don't advertise, and we also don't make money off of this. With Flavier, we're being paid with alcohol.
Yes, the best kind. The best kind.
So allow us to keep our partnership going and go to flavier.com/IBIF and sign up for your free subscription. Chris, you got anything else?
Go buy Metro.
Any Metro. Like, even if it's just
Any
a Metro
Metro.
Pass, just buy it so that you can go
Buy
on.
that damn Metro Pass.
I'm riding the subway today because Chris told me it was really fun.
Hey, what better place to listen to a podcast then?
What better place to meet a bear?
I listened to the entire Metro soundtrack today.
Nice.
Oh, while you're at work? Nice.
Yeah.
Oh, I forgot that you shared that. I need to download that.
Wait, he didn't. We didn't pirate anything. I don't know what you're talking about.
He shared it
No
on like,
sharing
his
of
own
any
copy that I'm
audio
going to listen to
happened.
his own like system with at his
Yeah.
house.
All right. And on that note, goodbye, everybody.
Bye.
Good 2 weeks.
For 2 weeks.
Don't forget your Metro
Where
Pass.
be me Metro soundtrack?
It's only a sampler.
heard.
It's only a sampler. I think we're okay.
I heard
There
you had
are-
some booty for me.
There are pirates in the game.
Russian pirates.
Yes.
Russian wasteland pirates.